Physically active individual core temperature tends to increase during exercise, and our body temperature can fluctuate several degrees depending on the daily activities being carried out throughout the day, such as physical activity, sleeping, emotions, etc. When the environmental temperature is cold, our body increases the heat production in our body to slow down the heat loss. When the environment temperature is high, an individual thermoregulatory mechanism protects a person against overheating, which causes increased blood flow of the muscles and increased heart rate when exercising. I will discuss the factors that affect physiologic function during exercise and at rest. I will examine the similarities between the factors affecting physiologic functions during exercise versus at rest, and I will examine how heat production resulting from oxygen uptakes affects physiologic function during exercise. The body's increased need for oxygen and the increase of the ventilation rate are the factors that enhance physiologic function during exercise because the muscles that are working when exercising requires fresh oxygen due to the metabolic byproduct exercise buildup, which is the result of cellular respiration and an increased amount of carbon dioxide in the system that is often dispelled that causes us to take deep breaths to deliver the oxygen through the bloodstream, then to the working muscles. Factors that limit physiologic functions of during exercise are gender, menses, age, status of training, rhythm of circadian, and diet. Women that are physically active exceeds the aerobic capacity than that of men that are sedentary, while women cross-country skiers have 40% higher oxygen uptake than untrained men of the same age. Factors that affect physiologic function at rest are size, which a man that is larger in weight have a greater basal metabolism than a man that is small. Other factors that can affect physiologic function at rest are sex, age, development of the muscles, and diet. After exercise, an individual will experience a rise in blood levels and blood pressure. The enzymes of aerobic that feeds the mitochondria decreases within days while the blood supply reduces slowly. The metabolic system decreases when compared to circulate and deliver oxygen. Athletes who are physically fit tend to experience decrease of muscle power, strength, coordination, and stamina. Gender, age, training, and diet are the similarities between factors that affects physiologic functions during exercise and at rest. As for age, peak as for age, peak oxygen uptake changes with age, which can affect physiological function when exercising and at rest. Gender differences in exercising and resting depends on body composition and the hemoglobin concentration of the blood. Training status between exercising and at rest depends on the individual lifestyle, such as the improvement of peak oxygen uptake in sedentary individual with training with aerobic capacity improves, but if an individual stops exercising, it can have negative effects. The heat production resulting from oxygen uptake that affects physiologic function during exercise is caused by the increased oxygen delivery to the muscles that are working to sustain the metabolism energy, and the increased flow of the peripheral blood to the skin, which transports the heat of the metabolic during exercise for dissipation at the surface of the body. In conclusion, physically active individuals' core temperature tends to increase during exercise, and our body temperature can fluctuate several degrees depending on the daily activities being carried out throughout the day, such as physical activity, sleeping, emotions, and etc. When the environment temperature is high, an individual thermoregulatory mechanism protects a person against overheating. I have discussed the factors that affect physiologic function during exercise and at rest. I have examined the similarities between the factors affecting physiologic functions during exercise versus at rest. I have examined how heat production resulting from oxygen uptake affects physiologic function during exercise. Okay, that was the end of my presentation, and I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you.